Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Immortal Cave and sayingwetrust.blogspot.ca. As usual, I'll put a link to my blog in the description. And this is me trying this stupid thing again, because I think whatever cold I had passed, or it's passing, so my speech is a little bit better. So I'm assuming whatever the heck it was like a throat infection, or I don't know, some crap. Nonetheless, it's getting better, and as you can tell, I'm not slurring my words every 5 seconds, so don't get used to the sound or any of that crap. Um, If that was the weirdest sound you're going to hear today, you're welcome. So, let's continue. What I'm trying here is to once again do my first reaction, or I guess this time it would be the first reaction minus a couple days, of the time of the Doctor. Now, like I said in the first one, I did really like this. I do think there are some problems that have arisen since that I've picked up on, but I don't know. I still really enjoyed it for what it is. And well, okay. Let's start off with one of the problems that a lot of people has, which is the fact that it feels very rushed. I can't disagree with that. It does feel like everything's going by very quickly. And the fact that there were, let's say, excuse me, by the way, that there were four main villains that they brought in: the Cybermen, the Daleks, the Silence, which thank God they came back, and the Weeping Angels. Now, the Cybermen particularly are, well, actually, the Cybermen and the Weeping Angels are kind of just incidental. They're just there because, hi, we came too. Mostly just as a send off for the 11th, because those four enemies, the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Weeping Angels, and the Silence, are the biggest enemies to the 11th. Now, I can understand wanting to have them in. I do think that it was completely unnecessary to have the Cybermen in particular, but as well the Weeping Angels, was really, really unnecessary, because the Daleks and the Silence are the ones that kind of take the big mention in this. Now, that being said, do I think that it ruins it having them in there? No. I think that having them in there does honestly add something, even if they don't really do much. Um, Again, it is nice to kind of have all of the big 11th Doctor villains in there. So, I do think that it's unnecessary, but I don't think it was a bad decision. Let's put it that way. Um, that's the first real thing. So, unnecessary, yes, but and maybe they could have had a little more time to flesh out certain things if they didn't. Which is a problem, but I don't think it's a problem that ruins it by any stretch of the imagination. At least not by mine. See, now I'm just trying to remember, because it's been a couple days now. Um, so yeah, I do think that the villains were put in well. The Silence, okay, past your spoilers. So, obviously, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's been a couple days now. What the hell are you doing? Listen to me talk about this if you haven't seen it. Seriously. Okay, first of all, before I actually mention that, the Silence, I want to say this. Wooden Cyberman with a flamethrower. Okay, Wooden Cyberman is one thing. I will admit I got a really good chuckle out of that, though. Wooden Cyberman. Got a really good laugh out of that. Flamethrower. To which I love Stephen Moffat's actually excuse for that, which was it's fireproof wood. Moffat, 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 Moffat. You know I love you, right? Fireproof wood. Really? I'm just probably nitpicking there. It was a neat idea, nonetheless. But anyway, the Silence. here is where things start getting weird, is with the Silence. The Silence aren't meant to be these creatures that can take over the world. They're meant to be confessionals, I think, because they're the like the creatures created by the church, the this space church, led by the space pope. I can't remember her name. That's what I'm gonna keep calling her. But anyway, um, and I'm slurring a little bit, not too bad. Anyway, um, and like I said, they're basically confessionals in the sense that you tell them your sins to get them off your chest. You'll feel better afterwards. They'll like hypnotically tell you like, don't worry about it. You'll forget about the whole thing, and you'll feel better. I think. I might have just invented like half of that. But, wouldn't have called that. But alright. Apparently the main problem was that, it wasn't the Silence themselves. It wasn't the Silence, it wasn't the church that was trying to kill the Doctor earlier. The problem was that it was, one particular sect of it, which was led by, Madam, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, or remembering her name right, Madam Kavarian? Was that the eye patch lady from Series 6? Series 6? Nah. I think. I think it was Kavarian. But her. Apparently she just wanted to take over the world with the Silence and kill the Doctor, too, I guess. I guess it all kind of led back into the actual reason, which was that the cracks in the universe from Series 5 weren't fully made by the exploding TARDIS. Or maybe they weren't at all. I'm not gonna lie, that whole thing kind of ran ramshot over my head, but nonetheless, they were caused by that. They were caused by Gallifrey being in the other dimension trying to get through, and the signal that they released was the words Doctor Who, trying to get the Doctor to say his real name back to them so they know, okay, we can come through this way, basically. Because the Doctor was the only one they could trust at the time, because I guess because he's the one who saved them, back in the day of the Doctor. So, I assume, I can understand that. Still wondering what the hell the Master and Rassilon are doing. Are they both dead? Are they both somewhere else? Did they get slammed into like a dimensional wall because of all this shit? I don't know anymore. Like, I'm a little confused. But regardless, I guess. So that's the question. The signal got broadcast through all of space and time. Hidden in plain sight. Blah 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 blah. Oldest question in the universe. There you go. And yeah, the Silence are trying to stop them from coming through because if they did, excuse me again, the excuse me again. Sorry about that. The Daleks, the Cybermen, the Santarans, the everything else would basically wipe them out because they don't want the Time Lords back, I guess, especially the Daleks, Daleks. So, if they come out, it's the Time War too. But the Doctor wants to bring them back because there's people, and it becomes this massive, like 600-year wait. The Doctor keeps sending Clara back because obviously she'd be dead long ago. But keeps sending them back and forth, and TARDIS keeps bringing her back. And yeah, that's basically the whole story of it is the Doctor has to stay in this town because if he leaves, they'll nuke it, and if he opens up and if he brings the Time Lords back, they'll nuke it, and Time War 2. So he's just trying to go through 600 years or 700 years or a crap ton of time trying to just figure out what to do, and while protecting these people. And I have to say, the Doctor does age quite a bit, and it's it's hmm, it's quite it's hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie, because at the time I didn't know that he was gonna reverse back at the end, right before he regenerated. So I'm watching this, and I'm just like, this is gonna be the last image we see of this Doctor. Is gonna be this older character, and then this character at the very end who looked like a way older version of William Hartnell. Actually, he looked a lot like William Hartnell, which was the spooky thing. But you know, and that that did get to me. I won't lie. Um, and I I do think that the story of having him just waiting out and doing this slow war, and eventually a much bigger war once they kind of said frigate. Um, and what ended up happening was this that eventually the Daleks just said, okay, screw it, bring him forward. You bring in the Time Lords, we'll kick their asses, or we're just gonna kill you. We don't care anymore. We've waited for 600, 700 years. Screw it. So the Doctor goes up, and at this point he's barely able to move. Like he's about to die of old age, and he's revealed the whole I can't regenerate anymore because I'm only 11. She'll only be 13, and the fact that yeah, there's the War Doctors of 12, and then 13 was the David Tennant half regeneration, forgive me, which I will say the description was rather funny, which was, what was the exact word he said? Like, I was going through a vein phase that time or something. I can't remember exactly, but it got a good laugh at me. Um, but generally speaking, I mean, I like that. It seems like the three big things were dealing with the three biggest questions about the Doctor, which was the name, the Time War, and the regeneration limit. How he was going to deal with these three things. And for the anniversary year, that makes sense. You know, name of the Doctor, day of the Doctor, and time of the Doctor. Um, and how do I word this exactly? I do think that they were all handled pretty well. I mean, obviously, day of the Doctor having the Gallifrey returns thing, and the fact that I think Moffat has actually come out and said like there will be a Gallifrey search arc coming up, which might be Capaldi's, which I would like to see that quite a bit. Um, the name thing, he just basically just said the name's not important, don't worry about it, which that's about the best answer we probably could have gotten. And this, which was basically Clara pleads to the Time Lords through the crack, and they're just like, well, he did save us, all right, and they send him basically energy, and he can basically, if if I'm understanding this correctly, he has another cycle. So basically, he can regenerate another 13 times. So, there you go. And he used up quite a bit of it just beating the crap out of the Daleks, which the Daleks were the only ones left by the end of it. Because the Doctor, weirdly enough, started working with the Silence, which, that was a weird thought, I have to say. Very weird. But, that was kind of a whatever moment. But, it was weird, nonetheless. But, he starts working with the Daleks. Or not with the Daleks, the Silence. Sorry, I'm still a little exhausted, like I said. I'm pretty sure it's been a cold, so my brain's a little right now. Um, and we start working with the silence. Eventually, even they can't slow him down because everything's got infected with those Dalek nanites or whatever the hell they are from Asylum. So like, there's silence with the eye stalk sticking out of the head, which is really really creepy, by the way. When people start having those things stick out. Don't know if I mentioned that in Asylum, but that was. Woo. But nonetheless, well, he beats all of them by using the excess energy. Which, by the way, when I thought it was going to be his actual regeneration, when he starts throwing his hands up, the energy's wiping out Daleks. And I just have to say that it was a cool moment. And I have to say that if that was his regeneration, I would have understood it, and I would have been just like, "That's pretty cool." He went out in a blaze, a literal blaze, considering the fire-like tendencies of the regeneration energy. But and he, if that was his last moment, I would have been happy. But it keeps going, and he has his farewell speech, and the last words are what got me, because his last words were something like, "I will never forget when the doctor was me." The doctor was me, and I won't lie, I cried like a baby. I won't lie. I was crying pretty heavily because this is my doctor. I still say he's my favorite doctor because he's the most entertaining to me. Like, even if the solution to the problem is a little Deus ex machina-y. To be fair, slurring or not, I probably wouldn't be able to say that. Anyway, um, even if they are, he's still the most fun to watch, and to me, that's the most important thing right there. So, but I just I cried, and then the worst part though was when a little bit in, when he starts hallucinating that he's seeing Amelia Pond like the little kid. I don't think I picked up at it then. It was when the adult one, when Karen Gillan, of course, had to make a quick cameo, comes down, and you can distinctly hear the long song from Rings of Akaten. This is the point where I start bawling. Because I was just like, they actually used it! God damn it, people! Because I knew they were going to. I absolutely knew they were going to use it. And I was just like, fuck. You done killed me, guys. You absolutely done killed me. He takes the bow tie off. That put me in tears. Like, that, if I wasn't already, that would have. Sticks his hand out, it's glowing. Clara says something around the lines of, "Don't change." Snaps his head back, and it's the fastest thing ever. Snaps his head back, snaps it back, and he's Peter Capaldi. Like, there was no drawn out thing like it was with Tennant, where it took about a full minute when he started glowing to when he changed. No, he was just like, snap back, snap forward, Capaldi. And I think that was probably the best way to do it, was more like ripping off a Band-Aid. You don't pull it off slowly, or otherwise you're just going to prolong the pain, but just snapped it. And I liked that. I thought that was actually pretty good. And I have to admit, Capaldi left a really, really good first impression. What was his first word, something on the lines of, I have new kidneys. They're the wrong color. Like, that raises so many questions. But I'm really looking forward to Capaldi, first of all. I really am. Because I think he's going to be really good, So, I'm looking forward to that. And, I'm really happy everything went this way, because they treated it less like a death, like they did with Tennant, and they treated it more like, kind of, it was almost very fourth wall breaking, the final speech that Matt had. Because he said something along the lines of, not one day, not one line will I forget this. And the use of the words one more line makes me think that it was more, it was supposed to be more, less the character and more Matt Smith saying that. And he could say that that's fourth wall breaking and that makes no sense, but I don't know. I I liked it better than the I Don't Want to Go. Just because he went out strong and he went out like, I'm ready, let's do this. And I'm happy and I'm happy I'm going out like this. Less than I'm not ready yet, I don't want to go, which I like that better quite a bit. I know I was a little harsh on End of Time, but I don't know. But I don't know. I think everything went really well. I think is the important thing. And you could say that it was rushed, and it was kind of. And you could say that there were too many enemies, and there were. And you could say that the whole silence thing was a little weird, which it was. Though I don't know. I kind of liked it, but it was weird nonetheless. But I do generally think that this was a good send off. You know. All in all, I really enjoyed it. Also, one more thing I want to mention: they brought up the fact that Matt was wearing a wig because he had to shave off his head for the that movie role he's doing. And of course, he rips off the wig. I'm gonna tell you right now, completely like shiny head, bald Matt Smith. Weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Also, you should really play Lex Luthor in that coming up Batman Superman movie. Tell me you did not think that. Tell me you did not. Because you had to. The second you saw bald Matt Smith, the man looks like Lex Luthor. And I could see it. I really could. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but I don't know, I could see it. Nonetheless, um, yeah, I think that's about all I really have to say, and I'm starting to slur a little bit more, so I'll save you the and just my apologies for the delayed full thing here, and Merry Christmas. One more thing I actually want to say to anybody who's watched one of my videos, liked it, disliked it, favored it, shared it, thought it was the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, and think I should shut the hell up. I think I'm an idiot for liking Love and Monsters, which, by the way, not a good Doctor Who episode, but a generally enjoyable to watch. I still think that. Maybe I should probably reword the review a bit, but on my site. But generally good episode. Still say it, nonetheless. If you have like any of that, whether you liked it, disliked it, watched it, as long as you gave something, or you got something out of it, thank you. Because I'd still be doing this one way or another, but with a lot of people watching it or liking it or disliking it or whatever, it just, I don't know. It feels like I'm doing this for a reason, other than me just rambling on like a maniac. So thank you, seriously, and everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know my year was awesome. Sounds one or two things, but I know my year was awesome. So everybody out there, have a great New Year. Have a great 2014. I shall see you all in September. God damn it. Moffat! Yeah, it's not coming back until September. I don't know what was worse, 6 months until Day of the Doctor, or like 7 or 8 until a new Doctor. Ugh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and like, favorite, subscribe, share, click off of whatever the hell you want to do. Just whatever you want to do it. I'm rambling at this point because I can't think of anything else to say. So thank you and good night.